practice session on Miller Lite Carb Day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, getting set for Sunday's 107th running of the Indianapolis 500 with practice out of the way. We'll be hearing from Alex Palou, Josef Newgarden, Tony Kanaan here on the fourth floor of the Dex Imaging Media Center, already joined by the driver of the number 26 Gainbridge Honda for Andretti Autosport with Curb Agajanian and Colton Herta, 7th quick today. He'll start 21st. On Sunday. Did you check all the boxes, Colton? Get everything good to go for Sunday?
Yeah, it felt good out there. You know, a little bit different weather conditions on Monday, and probably a little bit different weather conditions than what we'll see Sunday, so we have to take that into effect. But for right now, I was fairly happy with the car. I think we can make some minor tweaks to it to make it a little bit better, but you know, I think we're right on the ball with it so far. The
difference between your qualifying setup and the race setup, feel better about things?
Yeah, you know, I think just the car itself doesn't have speed, you know, so like obviously it gets exposed during qualifying, but during the race it doesn't really matter as much. Right. Obviously if you're leading, you'll still have somewhat of that effect, but yeah, no, felt good when I was following cars, and from where we're starting, it might take a little bit to lead, so hopefully we'll make some good passes and move up.
The good news is it's a long day, so
there you go.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. We'll take questions here. In person, we'll begin with Jenna Fryer from the Associated Press. As long as the microphone's on. Jenna?
Hey, Colton. Marco, you know, it said qualifying was embarrassing. You sound much more encouraged today. Do you think you guys have race cars capable of winning?
Yeah, you know, I never really doubted the race car stuff, and you really don't know what you're going to get with the qualifying stuff until Fast Friday. So after Fast Friday, I knew that we might be in a little bit of trouble, even though we were only, I think we're still 5th on 4-lap average, but our first lap wasn't amazing. So I think we knew we were in a little bit of trouble, but you know, the car still has speed in it in the race trim, which is more important, obviously. So I'm not too worried about it.
Let's go Bruce Martin, and then we'll go Joey.
If there is the expected cloud cover Sunday and the temperatures are like this, how much better will that make the track?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might want it a little bit hotter to make the tire wear a little bit bigger difference between cars, and yeah, that might open up some opportunities for other guys. I think you do want it a little bit hotter.
Joey?
It looked like,
there you go. Thank you.
It looked like in this session, guys dive into pit road, a lot of lockups, a lot of movement on the cars, just trying to get under braking. Is that just a byproduct of trying to charge into pit road and maximize the in-lap, or was it just trickier, dirtier coming off of the track?
I mean, you have I think it's a tailwind. Yeah, it would be a tailwind today, where on Monday you would have had a headwind, so that would make a big difference. But also, I think, you know, I was fine besides that one incident, and that was on like the 2nd lap. So it's probably a little too early to push it. I didn't have any brake temperature, which caused a big lockup. But other than that, I was happy with that. I haven't really seen anybody else if they had any problems or if it was a big problem, but it could be from the tailwind. It could be from other things.
Anyone else? Follow up for Colton? Was it dicey out there? Question is, was it dicey out there?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, guys get a little crazy on today. I think because they start to give a little bit less, and they run it more like what the race is like, so they're running you deeper into the corner, and if they don't want you to go down the inside, they'll make sure that you can't go there, and so, yeah, guys, the biggest thing is guys just running deeper into the corners, where before you see every day of the month before this, everyone's kind of lifting off and being nice. So I think it's your last kind of check to kind of see what you can get away with and going into the race. So guys are a little bit less friendly.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenna.
Is there anyone on the, I don't know if you can see a board, but is there anyone on the board that is a surprise that maybe people are not looking at or thinking about?
I mean, Canapino was pretty decent. I mean, he was pretty far up there in this session, but he looked all right. You know, I think he's still got a little bit left to learn from following him and whatnot on his gaps and his timing, but he seems like he has a fast car. I think if he can make some adjustments driving-wise, it could be really good for him. Yeah, it's First guy that comes to mind.
Anyone else? Have a great rest of your day. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Colton Herta, again, Alex Pillow, Josef Newgarden, Tony Kanaan on the way up here momentarily. Stand by. Thanks, Brew. What's that?
You want this one switched over to time scoring? Okay.
Oh,
You got it.
I was already on it. You can do it though. Nope, it's 26. No one else can.
No.
Just me.
Don't say it that way.
Trust me.
You guys see that flight, that airplane, someone in an emergency blew up? That's awful. Yeah. Yeah. He's got it. Isn't that insane? What would you do? You'd be freaking out. You'd sitting right next to the three that have that alarm, trying desperately not to be sucked out of their beds.
Like Kurt Frobe in the movie.
Like, you can't take your seatbelt off and move.
And I'm glad I'm not going on the plane.
That's right. Eat one, Dave. All right. What's that? Yes, in our mind they are.
Does that mean I get to leave quickly?
Huh? You're not the first one here, so. No. Colton, up and out. Yeah, in and out. Yeah, so let's go.
No way.
That's true. It is
Wow.
true.
Wow.
Joined now by Josef Newgarden, driving the number 2 Shell powering Progress, Team Penske Chevrolet, who starts 17th on Sunday, finished 9th in today's 2-hour practice. What'd you get done today?
We just tried to, sort of practice race, literally. It kind of seems self-explanatory, but I think everyone approaches this last session differently. We just try to do a dress rehearsal from our end and, really get into the rhythm of what we're going to do on Sunday. And I felt like, I feel good about our car. I think the Shell car is quick. I think it feels comfortable. We got it really good at the end there. We just got to be solid on race day as always. It can be no mistakes here, good execution. That's what it's going to take.
Questions for Josef Newgarden? We'll start here with Bruce Martin in the front.
Joseph, since you drive for Team Penske and with you also being sponsored by Shell, between now and race day, what will your week be like in terms of all the personal appearances and everything that you need to do, not only for Roger, but for Tim, but for Shell?
It's been busy, but I wouldn't say abnormally busy. It's just always jam-packed today. Tomorrow is very jam-packed. But I will say, one of the greatest things about driving for Team Penske is they don't request anything from us on race day morning, which is lovely. I just think it's fantastic. We get everything out of the way on Saturday. It's a busy day, but then, you know, we can wake up for race day and be free and clear. Just get ready for the race. That's all. That's our only commitment. So, yeah, not a big deal from my end. It's great to be here with Shell, and you know, it's fun to drive the Shell car because of what they're doing. Right, this is a big year for the series. Obviously, you know, we're titling it Powering Progress, and the whole field is powered by Shell. You know, we're all running sustainable fuel, and you know, with IndyCar and its positioning and sustainability with Firestone and everyone else, I think Shell's doing a tremendous job. So it's fun to be carrying that flag on race day.
Also joined by Tony Kanaan, driver the number 66, Arrow McLaren Chevrolet, who starts 9th on Sunday, 11th quick today. What'd you get done today? Happy with it?
Yeah, I mean, went through some pit stops and try a couple different things that we're just going to guess what we need to do Saturday night and Sunday morning. But yeah, fairly happy. I think it's been a very smooth month, so time to go now.
Questions for either Tony or Joseph. Let's go over here. We'll go Ben, Jenna, and then Joey. Go ahead, Ben. Microphone there. There you go.
Hey guys, how do you think you guys will perform on Sunday in traffic?
I don't know that it's going to look tremendously different to last year. I think it is easier to stay close, but you know, in the train, everyone's kind of utilizing the toe, and so until you get to the back half of a stint, there's probably going to be a little bit of sitting, but certainly up front, it's easy to make moves in that situation. So I think the race for the win will be exciting as always.
Alex Plo, I'm sorry.
No, same. I mean, I think he said it.
You same thing he said?
Yeah.
All right. Insightful stuff. Also,
he asked all three of us, so, you know.
well, I'm just saying that Alex Plo is joining us, who happens to start from pole on Sunday.
Yep.
Not to be rude. Drive the number 10, the American Legion Chip Ganassi Racing Honda starts from pole, 4th quick today. Go ahead, Tony, your thoughts on that. Or Alex.
It's your turn, TK.
No, it's your turn. You're starting on pole.
My thoughts on...
Ben, what was the question
I think
again?
I missed the question, so...
Running in traffic.
I think it's pretty hard when you are 4th, 5th, and behind that. And it's too easy when you're 1st or 2nd. So, yeah, we'll see where we get. It's the same for everybody. Hopefully with tire deck it's going to change a little bit. But, yeah, I think it's too easy now to pass from 2nd to 1st, which we didn't have the past 2 years. But, yeah, it's all right. Same for everybody.
Jenna.
I guess for any of you, but specifically Tony, you said on the radio, I'm coming in, it's too crazy out here. Was today's session abnormally obnoxious?
No, I mean, no, it's been crazy. We saw what happened the other day, but when I saw 3 wide into turn 1, 20 minutes to go, why do you want to do that? So I'm like, I'm out. Mm-hmm. I don't need this. I think the guys, you know, some of us are starting fairly in the front, so I said, all right, I'm not planning to have 20 cars in front of me. Hopefully that's not going to happen, so I'm not going to run out there in the back. And that's exactly what happened. And when somebody split it, then somebody's trying to go to the back, and some of these guys are, I don't know. It's not a big deal, but I'm like, I don't want any part of it.
Did either of you think today's practice was aggressive?
I think there's parts of it, but you always get that on a aggressive end to a session when it's like a happy hour, or specifically today, everyone was really racing today, and there was, like Tony said, there was probably some moments where it was unnecessary, but I think, the intensity was up. Everyone was kind of race running today, trying to really practice what it was going to be like, which is good, but there's probably a couple moments you just don't want to insert yourself into.
Let's go Joey, Nate.
I have one more. I have one more
sorry,
question.
go ahead,
Sorry,
Jen.
I apologize for hogging the mic. I asked Herta this as well. Ganassi, McLaren, Penske. Is there anyone that we're overlooking that people are not really paying attention to? Took the board down. I can tell you who Herta said.
Who'd he say?
Canapino.
All year, man. Canapino. Honestly.
I mean, he's P6, right? Now? Yeah.
Colton said he still has some learning to do out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Santino can be fast if they all get it right in the pits and stuff. He finished up front here in the past. He ran up front. And he has a really good car, so I think he's going to be tough. Canapino, maybe 20 laps to go, he will gonna get the welcome to Indianapolis.
I think you put Canapino in position at the end, and he would go for it.
He'll go for it.
He would go
Correct.
for it. He's got Argentina on his back.
Correct.
Okay, the whole country. No, he's been impressive. I'm not knocking Canapino. He's very, very impressive this year, and people wrote him off before he even started. So he's done tremendously well for no experience. Like I can't speak highly enough about it. But to answer your question, I think it's hard to single really anyone out these days. Obviously, you have favorites, and reasonably so. You know, you're mentioning the top teams, but you know, IndyCar is just so competitive nowadays. We say it every year, but it is continually getting closer. And anyone can win this race. I mean, genuinely. You know, the strategy can flip on its head with 50 to go, and all of a sudden the front runners are in the back, and vice versa. You just don't know how it's going to shape up. It could be a normal day. It could be a crazy day. You know, it's always a guess when you come into these things. You have a plan, but you got to be able to move from your plan.
Let's go Joey, Nate, and then Bruce. Go ahead, Joey.
This question's for any of you guys. It looked like coming to pit road was tricky for a lot of guys today. Is that just a byproduct of just trying to maximize the charge into pit road, or was there something different coming off of 4 trying to get to pit lane?
Well, I think it's always tough to adjust coming off of 3 to today coming off 4. Yeah, I had a speed violation quite early on, so just finding the limits on my side. I didn't see anybody struggling, like I didn't see if something happened. Maybe I missed it, but yeah, it's challenging as always. It's so tight that you don't wanna lose any positions on the pit stops.
Good. Thanks, Kieran. Nate, and then Bruce. Thanks. There it is.
Hit it.
You're used to a microphone. Come on. Is it not working?
Hello. Hey.
There it is.
Sorry. I have one for Joseph and one for Alex. I'll start with Joseph.
Go ahead and yell it out. Yeah.
Alex was saying the other day that starting on pole, you can't really control the race here like you do other races, but you can at least control the first stint, whereas if you're starting further back, you sort of rush to the front. Starting from 17th, like what's your mindset there? The first stint, do you feel like, is there more urgency just to get in the mix and then know that like things can sort of unfold?
Starting 17th, what's your mindset?
Yeah, I know. There is no rush with 500 miles. I would say that. Certainly not in the first stint. You know, when there's an opportunity to make passes, the start, the restart, those are your best opportunities, so you're going to try and maximize that. But there's not a hurry, I think, starting 17th. I don't think there'd be a hurry if you were starting 25th. You just got to have a really good, consistent day and march your way forward. You know, we started pretty far back last year and had the same trajectory going that I think you needed to have, and then we had a bad pit stop in the middle of the race, and it totally derailed the race for us. So, no, I don't think there's urgency. I'd much prefer to start up front next to my pickleball teammate. But, you know, we are where we are, and we've got to make the most of it, and I think we got plenty of time to get up there. Not good. We played bad.
We played really bad. Yeah, our attitude was there, but I don't think our skills were matching our attitude.
We had an amazing mindset.
Yes.
I mean, we almost came back. I mean, it was a great effort.
It was really good. It was.
How were the teams selected?
Just pick who you like.
Yeah.
You know, I like him. He chose Colton over me.
Were you just blinded by Kirkwood's
Yeah, it was aggressive. It was aggressive. Very fun.
But they won.
You know.
They knew that they were gonna win, so that's why.
It's a bit flashy.
Yeah.
Bruce. Oh, I'm sorry, Nate.
So Alex, you said the other day you said that you think Remus was going to pass you. Like every pole sitter after the last 3 races has not led the first lap. You also just said that it's become almost too easy for second to pass first. So how will that look like that first stint? Will you Remus just be whoever?
What happens your first stint, Alex?
I don't really know because he didn't want to pass today. He just wanted to save fuel on carb day, and I didn't really understand what he was doing on track. But if he drives normal, yeah, we're gonna be exchanging a lot. I don't know if it's gonna be me or somebody else, but yeah, I think when you're second, it's easy to pass, and when you're first, you cannot really do much. So I just hope that they don't go crazy on the guy that is leading, trying to save fuel while you're leading, because that doesn't work and then it's crazy behind. So yeah, if I'm in control, if I'm leading, I'll try and just go and play with somebody. And if they don't wanna, like Rinus didn't wanna today, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Time for one or two more. Bruce?
Everybody's been... You certainly don't need a mic to hear me. There you go.
There you go.
Everybody's been talking about how tight this race is going to be, but does it have the potential to be a slugfest? Just lots of wild passing throughout the race.
No, I think it's going to be competitive, and it's just like, yeah, you can look at both ways. You can say, this is boring because nobody passes, or us inside we're trying to set up a pass, and you know, the passes are being happening late, if not, but I think it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. I mean, if you're not in the top 5 at the end of the race, I don't think you have a chance.
Yeah, I think at the front it's not going to be too aggressive, but when you're at the back, if you have a chance, you need to go for it, and then everybody's going to be diving in quite late. But I don't think it's very different to the past. Like last year, I remember when I dropped to the back, being used to being up front at the beginning of the race, I was like, oh wow, these guys are going for it really hard. So, but that's always like that. So yeah, hopefully it's not too crazy.
Yeah, I agree with these guys. I just don't think it's going to be that different from last year outside of the very front. You know, the first 2 cars, it is easier to follow. We have more downforce. But the effect behind the first 2 cars is sort of similar to where we've been. So I don't think that's going to be drastically different.
Drivers have been saying that at the white flag they want to be second with the opportunity to make the pass on the last lap, but how can you position yourself to make sure you're second?
You have to watch to find out, Bruce.
Same. Watch it.
You came from 4th.
Different times. Last year was 3rd and I couldn't do anything. Especially with the zigzag new model of racing that we created in the last 2 laps lately. It's tough.
You're working on your zig.
Hopefully I need to use it. That'll be a good sign. Yeah. Yeah, I think we will see that from the leader 100%.
Time for one more in the back. Ryan McGee from ESPN.
TK, hey, what's your experience been now that we've got big crowd today, big crowd tomorrow, big crowd Sunday, parade? We've talked to you about your race. We've talked to you about your own approach. But now that it's getting real, what's this like with the people?
It's awesome. It takes a lot longer for me to go from A to B. Everybody has something nice to say, and I mean, I'm just taking it in. It's really cool. I mean, you don't, you know, I don't think none of us here start racing to be famous or to be recognized by fans. We just race because we love, but then see the impact and how much people appreciate what I've done. It's actually, honestly, feels quite nice. So I'm enjoying it. I have big moments of happiness, and then I cry, and I'm happy again. But I knew that was going to happen from today on, tomorrow at the parade, and I don't know how I'm going to hold myself at driver's intro, but after that, we'll just go do what we need to do. We'll leave it all out there for one last time.
All right, we got the Pit Stop Challenge coming up. I know you have engineering meetings, so thanks for coming up. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we're busy, not like you that have nothing else to do.
I'm going to miss Tony. All right, thanks, everyone.